Ya le piqué yo.
¿Para qué tener hijos si tengo estudiantes?
Mucho
Por eso no tuve
problema.
hijos. Listo. Recuerden volumen alto que se escuche. Listo, ya está grabando, ¿verdad? Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Today we're going to talk about artificial intelligence in the workplace or in schools. Well, for context, ChatGPT has started since late 2020s or 2022s, and now we're just going to discuss how it impacted. You know, we're going to introduce ourselves. We'll start with you and then go over.
My name is Santiago Murillo, and I will be talking with the perspective of a school teacher and underage children.
My name is Manuel Salazar. I'm a mechanical engineer student, and I'm going to be talking today about how IA can't replace the mechanical intuition yet.
I'm Adrian Corona Morales, and I'll be talking about the college professor's perspective about AI.
I'm Emilio Herrera. I'm a software engineer student, and I'm going to talk about how AI changed the way we write code.
I am Manuel Bermudez, and I'm going to talk about how the AI is another tool for us, the engineers, in the civil engineering.
Well, I'm Calvin, and I'm an economist. I will ask some questions about the changes in safety, productivity, and equity.
I'm Joaquin Gonzalez. I study finance, and I'm going to talk about how ChatGPT affect students in finance, how to use it.
Well, I hope this discussion brings a lot of light to our perspectives, and we have different opinions, so hopefully we can join them all together and see what we can figure out. Okay, for the first topic, we'll just talk about our personal experiences, you know, to break the ice, sort of. We can start differently. Do you want to start?
I can start. I believe with personal experience that ChatGPT is a great tool that you can use to advance work super fast and also research everything that you need super fast. But that also comes with a problem. You could also call it like a double-edged sword. But that's my introduction.
I like the terminology of double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Well, like my partner said, I think ChatGPT is a really, really powerful tool that we have nowadays. Right now it's 2025, so it is only developing. It's not downgrading. In my personal experience, I am a student and mechanical engineer, and it can't help us yet. You know, they are really complex topics so far. So AI can't really replace us yet, but I think it will get there as soon as possible.
I agree. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's what everyone wished about as a kid, like a machine that could do your homework. But unfortunately, I think it's weakening our skills definitely, especially as students. And I see it every day.
Well, in my area, ChatGPT is really used. We even have the languages as a tab, the version with AI included, so it helps you to write code, and it also enhances the reach you can get with your code. You can do more complex code. Even you can now create code with normal language. You can do write me a page with that, and the AI do it. It's more faster. It saves you time, effort, and it gets you the job done.
Well, I share the same thought as my partner that studies mechanical engineering. I think AI is not yet there like to replace us, but it is becoming a tool nowadays. Well, our careers are very based on simulations and like modeling, etc. And they say the same about these new programs when they were like integrated to the professional area, like softwares like Autodesk and Inventor. I think that's going to happen like to the AI in our fields.
Well, from my experience, AI tool like ChatGPT can significantly reduce times for research and cross-sector learning. The most of the students and teachers can have access to a lot of information instantly and receive feedback that usually require hours of human labor, but it can also bring a lot of risk. by students relying too much on AI and stop developing their own skills?
In my experience, ChatGPT is a very intelligent searcher. It's more than Google, more than everything. But you have to know how to use it. Have to use it right. I mean, you don't want to ChatGPT make all your homework by make me this. No, you have to support on that. Give him the right instructions, but not to do it. Just to support him, to guide you to make the final result. I mean, not to make your homework, to support you to make your homework. I mean, you have to use it right because ChatGPT has limitations.
I like this, as you know, everyone has different opinions. I like that it's not just focused on one. Some people are like, oh, it's good, it helps us, it's more time efficient. And others are like, well, it has its limits and it can impact, you know. Well, let's just dive more deeper into it, and then we're going to talk about the consequences now. You know, in the consequences in regards to what artificial intelligence can bring. And, you know, whoever was opposed-ish, not really, who thought that there are limitations of AI, if you want to speak up.
I wasn't opposed, but me as a teacher in underage, it's a very big problem because the brain is still developing, and you need the motor skills, the knowledge to actually use a tool to help you out. Because yes, as my friend said, that we all wish to have this tool as a kid. But me thinking back, if I would have had a tool as a kid, it would not help me out develop as I developed today, because I would have used it way too much. I would have preferred like, oh, I can just tell it to do my homework and I know what to do. That's what I said is a double-edged sword. Because as it can destroy your learning, it could also improve it by a lot. Because as when the dot-com bubble became, everybody was like, oh, the internet was going to destroy everything. But it didn't. People have to adapt and learn how to start using the ChatGPT to actually become better at learning, better at everything. Because it's a tool for us to use.
Yeah, it's a tool.
It's a tool.
Okay.
I mean, all of the time, no? I mean, I don't want, if I were a parent, I don't want to my kid use ChatGPT to make his sums and etc. in the school. I mean, you have to learn it. You have to learn the basics. I mean, you have to do it yourself, without any help, without only your brain and your ability to do something. I mean, ChatGPT, have to use it when it's the time to use ChatGPT. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I got it. ChatGPT, like you said, you have to know how to use it. Because if you don't, you're gonna over depend on ChatGPT and you're gonna be lazy. You're not gonna learn how to think for yourself. And when you get to a situation where you gotta think, you gotta solve a problem in real life, ChatGPT is not gonna do the work. So you're gonna learn how to do it yourself, so you can enhance that thing you have to do. You already learn how to do and improve it with AI, so you do it better.
So you can apply it in the outside.
Outside.
Well, I want to talk about the talks that you shared about the brain is still developing even nowadays, because when you study civil engineering or any engineer or by business, you have to think like in a logical way and a way that you have to I don't know how to say, like to predict the future, like be predictive and etc. So I think that we have to use like the AI to not to solve our problems, but to a help or an orientation tool to be us be able to solve the problems, you know.
Guide us to success.
Yes, as like you were saying, we do need to learn how to use it because Chat, as you may know, Chat likes to hallucinate by giving answers.
Yeah.
So you must know what you have to read to what he says to know if what he says is true. So that's a very important thing to understand. And I think children may not understand because they're more gullible, meaning that they would like to believe on what they read. So it's a very important to know if what you're reading is actually the truth or it's a little bit wrong. Because it's also a new thing. ChatGPT just came out for like 2019, 2020. So it's learning as it goes, and we have to learn with it.
I mean, ChatGPT came to stay. ChatGPT won't go away. At least, what do you think? 50 years? 100 years? I don't know. I think ChatGPT came to stay. We have to adapt to that. I mean, because it's not going anywhere. Google will stay, will be there, Safari, etc. But it's not what, well, in case of students, for different topics, Safari, Google is not what we want. We want ChatGPT because in a certain way, chat give us the information. But yes, you have to read it, you have to understand it, because all the information that ChatGPT gives you is not correct at all.
Well, now that you were talking about children, I really don't think it is a young, new generation problem only. This is a personal experience, of course. My father texted me a couple months ago asking me if I knew how to use ChatGPT. And I said, well, of course I do. I know how to use Chat. Why? He wanted to use it for something work on his job. So I laughed, of course, but I know my mother uses to for her masters. So I don't think it is only a young generation problem. I think it is going to be, I don't know if we can see it as a problem, of course. It depends on your point of view. But I think it is an issue for everyone, not only children or teenagers or young adults like us. So, well, I think it's only going to develop in the future.
I mean, I think it happens with everything. I mean, when the iPhone came, still my parents asked me how I put Bluetooth in the car, etc., etc. As my parents have to adapt to the phone, we have to adapt to ChatGPT. It's all a process. It's all from generation to generation to adapt to new things. It's the same, I think.
I totally agree that the parents also need to know how to use ChatGPT. Because for me, when I was teaching my mother, I told her like she could take pictures of medicine and it would tell you the description of what the medicine should do. But she couldn't understand it. But I believe that in my topics, the children, they're being born with the tools right at their hands. Like the parents may not need to use it a lot because they're already working. So the job market is not changing that fast, but it will change a lot for us because it just became a thing. And when it becomes the normal thing, whoever doesn't adapt to it, she's going to be left behind.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I completely agree. I mean, I don't see a problem yet, but it's a potential risk because the students begin to outsource all the cognition and the teachers too. We have a generation of people, of employers that they didn't know how to do their own work. Yet it's not a problem because it's the new technology, but we will need to adapt, and the students and teachers will need to adapt to developing their own skills.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was anyone wants to add something else about the consequences before we move on?
I mean, as for the teacher's perspective, I think their opinion is that the consequences outweigh the benefits. I mean, sure, it can help you understand some topics better, and it can help you look into something deeper. But I mean, the consequences about academic integrity, the loss of critical thinking and trust and transparency, they're too severe to ignore or to just see AI as a tool. It's like you said, everyone's just going to use it for everything, not just as a tool, they're going to depend on it.
And what you mentioned, you only talk about the school.
Yes.
What about outside in work? How about an engineer that or architect that the building collapsed? It's
Yeah.
all from the school, from outside. Yeah, it's
Definitely.
It has an impact everywhere. Okay. Well, we're just gonna now talk about, is there any responsible uses for it? We kind of touched on it, but now I want everyone to focus on it. The responsible uses of artificial intelligence. If anyone wants to.
I can start with it. For my students, I believe that I always tell them, like, I give them what the topics of the exam is going to be. And a good way to use the ChatGPT is that you can upload all the information that you got to study and just ask a question. You can just tell them, like, make me a whole test and just question me. And you can start questioning, and it's like a system. You have a whole tutor in that app. So as you can develop the skills, you can underdevelop them.
You learn from this tool, this system.
Yes, you can learn, you can practice for exam, you can practice for a topic you are not pretty good at it. You can include search for more information on a more complex topic. ChatGPT, it will function as a personalized learning. You can learn what you want, what you need, and that's the way you should use it, to learn, to actually learn, to ask and you learn so you know, and you ask more so you know more, so you can use that knowledge to do more. Not let ChatGPT use you, you use ChatGPT. As we said, it's a tool, and we must use it, because in the real world, it's used, so we got that.
I mean, we have to use ChatGPT to learn, not to replace the learner. In my area of finance, we have, I have to read it because it's something that I read. I mean, I use it to understand complex financial models, like the WACC, the CAPM. I need this to analyze real companies in my homework. I mean, I have homework to analyze. I mean, I'm now working with Hershey's. I have to analyze all Hershey's. So where are the plants? How is the price of cacao? I mean, I have to use it for that. I mean, I use it ChatGPT that for learning. But in the moment that I add ChatGPT to make me a report on that and use it and do all my homework, that's why I have to use it for learn, not to replace it.
And people suggested about how it's more time efficient,
I mean, as an example, I have to make a report. I want ChatGPT to give me the structure of a report and I ask questions and I have to come to, how do you say,
Oh, like improvise, like compose?
to make the how do you say, comprobar.
Oh, prove or like showcase.
Yeah.
Prove.
Oh, so that in real websites. I mean, to cover that the information that ChatGPT is giving is real. Once that, I have to put all the information and in the structure that ChatGPT give me, and that's a way I can simplify the job and save a lot of time.
I totally agree. Unfortunate or unfortunate, depending on how you want to see it, we live on a data world. So whoever has the best tools and exposure to analyze the data, the faster you can get an answer to what is happening. So I'm pretty sure in finance it's very useful because it's all data, it's all numbers, and what a computer is best at doing is solving problems.
I mean, you cannot ask chat how is the action of Apple today, sorry, because that actions are very variable every single day, every second, every minute. You cannot ask chat how is the action and make a structure of whatever. You can ask chat how to structure that, and then you take out the data of where it is from Yahoo Finance, from investing. I don't know. I mean, you have to do that. That's the right use in my area of finance to do that, for example.
Of course, I mean, ChatGPT, I don't believe has all the knowledge up to date, but it is a tool to analyze data. If you give them all the information, it will give you the
You have to be very specific. I mean, ChatGPT can do it now, can't in the moment, can't do it now. In 5 years, 10 years, maybe, because ChatGPT is evolving every day, every day. So we don't know. It's very varied.
This is something that teachers do agree on, that it definitely saves them a lot of time, especially preparing slides and preparing courses. I mean, if you give them the proper information, they can actually give you a pretty good structure on how to give classes and how to prep work. This is especially important for professors who are also working or they're handling their own research, so they don't have to worry so much about preparing work. They also do see how maybe it can help students learn better. It gives them like a fair access because it gives very detailed information in a very clear way, as if it was like a private tutor or a private education. So it can help, and that's like their point of view on how to use it responsibly.
Anyone else would like to?
Well, in our field, that is engineering, well, we have to be very responsible with the use of AI. I think that is a very complex area which very little mistake can result in even human lives. For example, in my area that is building bridges, structures, what did I say? Streets, etc. Well, if I have a miscalculation, if I do something wrong, if I use AI and it gives me a bad result, it can like end up killing someone. We have to be very responsible with the use of it. We have to use it not to develop our models. I think we have to use it like to a way to make these things easier, like making the templates for budgets, like sending mails, etc. But I think that we can apply it to our programs or to have like a serious model based on AI.
Well, for me, I think responsible use is what is in student, but also in the whole education system. I mean, I think institutions and schools will need to adapt to the change. We need to state clear process and the recognition of this process of the learning. I mean, they need to question when AI is permitted, when it's plagiarism, and how to incentive this transparency on all the students, because all the students use AI, but we need to state explicitly how we use it, how we contribute to our work. So I think that's the responsibility.
And especially nowadays, I think there's a lot of websites that detect if there's AI. Like, do any of you think it's reliable? No, definitely not.
From what I've seen, it never really works, or if it works, like it's like very little, very consistent and very inaccurate. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Probably before, when AI was first introduced, it was probably yes, because child writes and answers in a specific way. But as it develops, it's going to become more human as like we like. But I agree with the friend here. Using AI to learn is what we actually need, not to bypass it. There was a study made by UNESCO emphasizing the students who use AI for comprehension and revision to improve performance, while students who rely on AI to generate full answers showing lower retention and weaker long-term memory. So it is important that when you ask it something, you are really interested in the topic, so you can comprehend what it's telling you and understand it for the long term.
Oh, yeah. But wouldn't that also have an impact on like other, like social media, like when it comes to short attention span, like what you wrote about?
Yes, but social media is a whole different scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is propaganda.
Yeah, all those. Anyone else want to comment?
I mean, just in the case of social media, the other day, the Tequila Cuervo is now making ads with AI. I mean, you have seen it.
Yeah, it's great. with the whole conversion making with AI, they're replacing a lot of jobs, and I mean, we need to adapt, but the problem comes with education not adapting as fast as technology.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can even see the movies, as in ads and everything. CGI has just become modest in many years because they prefer to just give the job to the AI instead of paying somebody to do it. So that is the problem here. Is companies should focus on cost and should focus on what the product is going to be. So like as I was saying, not bypass, but make it so we can help you out to make a good game.
The problem in the work field, I think that is that a new company that is going to start cannot start with an old system. I mean, you have to sell, to make, I don't know, an investor to invest in your company. You have to give a speech of how disruptive and innovative is your company, because that's you, that sells. I mean, if you have an old system, or how to say, old-fashioned way, I mean, I don't know how to say it.
Old
Maybe
software.
old software. That is not going to call attention to the investor. I mean, you have to say that your company is disruptive, is new. You have to use AI to make a lot of process. I mean, that sells nowadays, because if you don't have that, I mean, it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
I totally agree with you, but the problem is they're using AI for an excuse for everything. Like I bought a refrigerator last 2 months. The refrigerator has AI. And why would I need an AI in a refrigerator?
To make yes or yes.
I mean, you can, but they're trying to invent something new that doesn't need it. So, as I was saying before, like AI has to be a plus. It doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's to like complement something.
Yes.
And it would impact, like, how would when it comes to like business side of things, how would it impact students? You know?
I mean, I have to tell you in my personal experience I have now of human resources. I mean, we take people to another enterprises to work, but that enterprises need a special profile for the people that are looking. I mean, what we do with AI is to filtrate the candidates with those specifications, like selecting a FIFA player, something like that. People that fulfill that backend that is open, we use AI to filtrate the candidate and send it. I mean, that's in my personal experience what I do with AI nowadays. That's where the investors came. Investors see, they're using AI, they are innovative, they are etc. etc. I would like to invest because this is new.
This will get more attention.
It's the trend.
You save time and money. That's the thing. Save time and money is what the companies, what investors would nowadays, to save time and money.
Okay, does anyone else want to add anything? Or we can move on to that?
I think it's all about planning, you know. I think it just resumes to time. I mean, you could study all night long, do your homework all night long, but AI can do your homework in what? 1 minute, 30 seconds, so you just copy it. And AI is making us lazy, you know. Yeah, that's what I say. It's all about time. Save us a lot of time, and I think it's a lot of the part why we are using it right now. So yeah, that's fine.
I agree with you. I mean, it's making us lazy, but it all turns on how you use it.
Of course.
If you use it to, I mean, ChatGPT came to save us time. But yeah, you have to know how to use it.
I totally agree. Since the beginning, we have all said, "Oh, at least I have said that it's a double-edged sword." Meaning that yes, it would save you an amazing amount of time, but the cost of maybe not understanding the topic. So here lies the responsibility of how you wanna use it. Because at the end of the day, it becomes a personal choice because you're not gonna have your mother or your on complete homework. We don't do that on other cases. So it's a whole responsibility on our part as well about how it is used.
Well, I think it's about ethics. Each person has his own ethics, so it depends of how you use it or how you want to use it. For example, in my field, mechanical engineer, I mean, it's really hard, if I don't understand the topic, well, I'm cooked, I could kill a person, I will never trust AI, not now, not in 10 years, not in 20 years, to build a rocket ship, I mean, I'm not building rocket ships right now, but at the same time, I will never trust AI nowadays or in 10 years. I don't know, it's just about the intuition a person can have that AI can't, because they don't have emotions. They don't know what is right or what is wrong in the specific situations. A mechanical engineer or a civil engineer can or can't assume or intuit. So, well, yeah, there is that part of the ethics and that part of how we use it and how we want to use it.
Well, the thing is that you're right. AI cannot replace the human value. And the thing is with AI that we do not want to replace the human value. We want to use it to enhance it. So in your field, in the mechanical field, you're not going to use AI to build a rocket. It's not ethical. But you could use it to remember certain formulas you may forgot, certain values, certain constants. You may forget them, and you can do a quick search, and you have it then. You continue. You will save time.
I mean, the only way you can use the AI to your field is that you're right on literally, but in my field, in finance, I have to use it. Not to search as I said earlier, the actions in real time. I mean, ChatGPT does that. But to remember the formulas, to give me some structure, to give me information, about companies that I have. ChatGPT is very useful to that. But in my field, not in all the area of finance, but in some area, it's very useful. But you have to use it.
So also in my field, as I say, ChatGPT is very good for system or for software engineer. It's very good at writing code, and it gives you the hints like if you run a function, it says, hey, you try to write this, and it helps you, and it even can write you blocks of code if you give him the adequate information. So it facilitates a lot of things, and it saves you a lot of time. As ChatGPT is, it comes from computers, it understands them very well. So in my field, it helps a lot. And it's a must-have for us. It's like electricity, the computer, personal computers, and internet were on that time.
I mean, I don't know about code. I'm very bad at that. But in high school, I have a code class, and I use ChatGPT for that. But the code that Chat gave me was way too advanced for the class, and the professor said that we are not looking that. It's right, but we are not seeing that at all. I mean, in that case, how do you know that ChatGPT gives you the right code or not? I don't know if I make right the question. How do you know if ChatGPT gives
Well,
you the right
in
code?
software, you just have to run it, and if it works, nice.
Leave it like that.
And well, as you said, ChatGPT, right, is better at writing code. So it writes a code that is efficient and more complex, and so it uses less space and it does the same work. That is the objective at writing a code. You gotta write it in less lines and do the same. And that's how ChatGPT helps you.
More efficient.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you that ChatGPT, when it comes to coding, I'm a mechatronical engineer, so I do understand a little bit of coding. coding. It is very important to also know the basics, because if you don't know the basics, you will have to face some problem. And the teacher comes and tells you, oh, I have not teach that, well, I'm improving with it. For me, it happens a lot when using machines. ChatGPT tends to add more stuff than it needs to. So many times it just does processes that you didn't even ask it to do. So it all comes to responsible use of the app. You have to know a little bit about the topic to understand if what it's saying is true.
I have to make a correlation in a certified website.
Yeah, totally. Because if you just write a prompt not that specific, it's gonna do like the code in a general way. So like for everything, for every value and everything. But if you specify, it's gonna do a more specified code that just adapt to that situation.
And it comes to what I was saying about giving the data. You can give him an example and he will give you as you want it. But you just have to give him the correct information and the correct prompt to get like what.
As I said earlier, be very specific, because ChatGPT, you give him an instruction incomplete. He's going to do whatever ChatGPT understands and wants, not what you want. You have to be very specific in every instruction that you give him to make work, to make it successful.
They're not a mind readers. Anything else before we close it up? No? Well, just to summarize our events, this was a very, I don't know about you guys, but I learned a lot from this session. Both sides, or multiple sides, there wasn't even just two. The main focus I like is the double-edged sword, there are good sides, but it can also affect you negatively. But before we ended, do you any closing remarks, anything really quickly?
Well, I'm gonna close. The situation we're experiencing is that students have at their hands a tool that knows about the subject they are studying, and they are using it. So we're gonna learn how to integrate that thing into our classrooms, so we can teach them how to use it and prepare them for real work.
I totally agree with what my friend is saying, is that we gotta find a balance on how to use it right and how to not use it. And if we teach, as he said, the responsible way to use it, I'm pretty sure the next generation will be fast, because you would have all the knowledge at their hands.
I mean, in finance, I like to say a phrase that maybe ChatGPT can do the math, can do all, but you, the human, you're the one who makes the decisions. ChatGPT can give you all the information, but he cannot replace the human. He cannot replace that human part of making the right decision. You will decide if you're making the right decision or not. And basically, ChatGPT came to stay. We have to use it right. We have to use it in ethics, and be very responsible for that, because that affects that. That is it affects in academic, or that can also beneficiate you, can help you, and the work field can affect you or save the humanity.
Well, I have another opinion, but I think that the internet was, or the software was, I think that the AI is another tool that we have to add up and evolve with AI. So yeah, this is
Well, thank you. Oh,
I'm gonna add
sorry.
something. I have to go to a completely different opinion. I say that AI is not worth it. Absolutely. It's destroying our planets and it's destroying our minds, and it's destroying careers and replacing it. It's replacing it, but it's replacing it with mediocre work and with very little benefits. I have to recognize that it has helped research medicine and coding, and it definitely does help accelerate some processes and some math formulas, data research, data recognition patterns, etc. So it has some uses, and I have to recognize that. But as for now, we have to leave it completely out of classrooms. Even if we could learn how to use it properly and not abuse of it, it's not doing anything new that Google teachers and libraries have been doing for years. So I think we have to, for now, protect our education, implement it where we can, but we have to protect the education mainly, especially young children and young adults for the future generations. We need to learn how to implement it into industries. For now, it's not doing anything good for education, basically.
So, thank you, everyone. for joining us.